We become what we think about. Focus on what you want rather than focusing on what you don't want. So who do you want to be? You know, why are you here on this planet? You live according to the principles of love, compassion, you know, appreciative joy, you know, celebrating other people's successes, but how do you overcome hatred and confusion and just having a good heart? Then I think that's what happened to me. Then I start to get clear about what I like to do and how I can be of service. How can I help other people? That we were wired for success, but it's how we relate to our experience that determines whether we're chipping away or we're, you know, kind of burying that sense of wholeness that we're born with. It's just that we forget it. We don't look inside, we're looking outside. And so unless we're still and we think about it and we understand that I was born with this masterpiece, no one can give it to me or take it away. It's an inside job. And so if I look at what's right, it makes a lot of sense. So it's whether you're coming from a place of scarcity, or I would say survival mode, or coming from growth mode, which has to do with yes, I can, yes to life, and I have the capacity and the responsibility to make it different, or to make it better. Having that faith, that vulnerability to just see things that are hard to see. You gotta get comfortable being uncomfortable. So can you handle the truth? It's a question, and if you can't, then if you see that, then you can say, well, if I'm gonna change, I'm gonna have to figure out how to deal with that discomfort until the point that I can see what I need to see, then I can change it. So it's the persistence of continuing to do something until you can do it is most of the work. Is just continuing to make mistakes, learn from mistakes, but the mistakes are viewed as feedback, not as I'm a failure. It's just an event, not who we are. So that error correction is really important. And when you can see, when you attribute it to something you can learn or change, now you got faith and confidence to do it, versus if you're seeing it like, oh, I'm just not strong enough, I'm not tall enough and all of that. That's what I call the negative community telling you can't do anything, rather than saying, well, let me see what I can do. So it's like a child learning how to walk, right? Same thing.
You're going to get out of your life what you'll accept. That's really difficult for people, I think, to understand is, look, what you think you're worth and what you're going to tolerate is absolutely what you're going to bring into your life and what the outward part of your life is going to look like. And so I live by that. Like, I let myself sort of feel the pain and the difficulty of being not where I want to be in whatever that area is, whether it's my spirituality, my relationships, my money. I let myself feel that pain because, as you know, there's two motivators, right? There's the gaining of pleasure, right? Wanting to go get something, chasing the dream, but then there's the avoidance of pain. And for a lot of champions, that's a pretty big driving force for them. And so at least for me, I leverage both of those things on me to get myself to take action. One of the reasons I'm relatively fit is not just peak state. I have an uncle in my family that died at 50 years old of a heart attack. He's my godfather, my dad's only brother. I kind of resemble him, and I look like him. So on the way back from his funeral, my reticular activator's on heart attacks. On the TV screen on the airplane, I'm listening to music, is the Oprah Winfrey show. She's going through the heart scan. I've unplugged my headphones, plug it into the airplane one. I scheduled it. I went in. I had a world-class doctor who understood reasons and leverage instead of just prescribing. When we coach people, you need to do this, you need to do this. The doctors do it. Take this pill, take this. He understood leverage and reasons. What you do is you take the scan, then you go to lunch, you come back. I took the scan, I went to lunch, I had a burrito. I came back and I'm in the when I walk in, I sit down, the doctor comes out and he says, oh my, I can't believe these arteries are in that young body. Got my attention. We walk back in, we sit down. He could still go, you need Crestor, eat clean, get out of here. Isn't that what an average doctor does, right? No, wired me with huge reasons. He goes, let me ask you a question. I heard your wife's pregnant. I said, yeah, I have a son. And he says, do you want to be there when he graduates from high school? To be there for that day? I said, yes, sir, yeah. He goes, your wife's pregnant. What do you have? And I said, a daughter. This is where you get a dad. He goes, she was 6 months pregnant. He goes, would you like to walk her down the aisle on her wedding day, or are you okay that it's some other man? I went, what the f*** is on this stand, right? Like, and he goes, I want to be very clear with you. If you keep going down the road you're going, there'll be some other man with your son at graduation high school, and a stranger's walking your daughter down the aisle that's not even born yet on her wedding day. And I went, boom. And he goes, but if you do exactly what I tell you to do, you'll be there. And so to this day, brother, there are mornings when I wake up, not every morning, I don't want to go to the gym. I go, Bella's wedding, Bella's wedding, Bella's wedding. So my standards are high because of my big old reasons. Other dudes may miss the gym that day because they're not going to miss their daughter's wedding if they don't go. But I've convinced myself I wouldn't get emotional. I've convinced myself I'll miss my daughter's wedding. So I will get my ass out of bed at 4 o'clock in the morning and I will get to that gym because my reasons are bigger, so my standards are higher. So that's what I think causes us to have great standards, is huge reasons.
When I was a kid, they said I was retarded. They stood me in the corner with a dunce cap. People know what a dunce cap is? You know, okay. And if I turned around, they put me in a closet. Kept me there 4, 5, 6 hours. I urinated on myself. I shit my pants until my parents came to pick me up. Now just imagine if that had happened to you. But I used it. It's not what happens to you in life, it's how you interpret what happens. I made it make me stronger, tougher, smarter. Most people would just collapse. When I played football, American football, Coach Roy J., may he rest in hell wherever he is, he says, Pena, you're so slow you ought to wear the other team's jersey. Do you understand what that means? You're such a poor athlete, put the other team's jersey on. You know, good for us. But I kept on going, hitting that line. Boom. You know, when they have the tackling exercise, one guy in the middle, and everybody just, I was that guy every day. If that had happened to you, I know what you do. Some of you would have committed suicide. It made me stronger. Yes, I'm 6'1", 225, a twisted steel and panther piss at age 73. But I endured all this stuff. Most of you have not attained material wealth because you've stayed in your comfort zone. Every family has an aunt, an uncle, a grandfather that went out and lost a family fortune, right? Uncle Harry, crazy Harry, he lost 20,000, 50,000, a million, whatever the number is. Well, that resonates in you, in your brain, your little pea brain. And then you hear another one. Your roommate in college, he's got an Uncle Harry. So pretty soon, the only input that you have is people losing their family fortune. That affects you, i.e., you then live within your comfort zone, i.e., you don't take risks. A turtle can only move forward when it sticks its head and its feet out. And when it sticks its head and its feet out, it's most vulnerable, right? Biggest risk. Most of you have lived a bubble wrap life. Most of you have been risk averse. Risk averse to the extent there are people beyond my comprehension that get all the way through high school with never been screamed at, never been slapped, never been in a fight, never been reprimanded by their parents. And then look at them. Snowflakes. Snowflakes meaning they melt under pressure. And when I say the world is through, look at you. The reason why the aliens haven't come down and taken us over, why? Why? Are they going to learn anything? No. It is simple. Can everybody in this room do it? No. Because everybody in this room is not willing to make the sacrifices. I don't know how to do it 4-hour work week, which came up a little earlier. I don't know, and I know Ferris. And if you believe the 4-hour work week, I've got a bridge to sell you in New York. I mean, one of the comments from the seminar that just ended, from the 18, 20 kids, all of which were about half my age. We had a couple of old gits in their 40s, but most of them were less than 30. They commented at breakfast the last day, which was Saturday or Sunday. They said, how can he still be so fired up, running on 200% of all his cylinders when he's been on his feet 15 hours a day for 6, 7, 8 days, and we've been sitting on our... and we're tired and he's not. You know why? The reason why I'm fired up at the end of a 6-7 day week of 15, 18 hours a day is because I'm passionate about pulling you sorry across the goal line. Because that's my goal in life now, to pull as many of the sorry individuals on the planet across the goal line as I can before they put dirt on me.